Hey socialites, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ariel. I do foundation tutorials and reviews, as well as lifestyle vlogs and fashion videos. So today I'm going to do a review of the new Makeup Forever foundation. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. So this just came out maybe a week or two ago. I do wear the color 4Y60, which is also equivalent to Y503, and I'm just going to quickly give you guys the claims of this particular foundation. So this foundation is supposed to be a non-comedogenic foundation, which basically means that the foundation was specially formulated to not clog the pores, which is a great thing. A lot of the newer foundations have skincare in them, and they pay a little bit closer attention to what the foundation does to your skin. So I love that about this foundation. The website does recommend that you use either your fingertips or a makeup sponge to apply the foundation, and not necessarily a makeup brush. So if you want to see how I got this look using the new Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation, then keep on watching. Okay, so here's the packaging here. Comes in the signature black and red with the white writing on it, the Makeup Forever HD Skin. Open this up. And it sort of has this very, very ultra modern packaging. I've never seen a packaging quite as up to date as far as modern, with the sort of natural brown tone top to it, and then the clear bottle with the black writing. This is really giving chic. Love the new packaging. I love the new packaging. Very chic and beautiful. I do have the color 4Y60, which is equivalent to Y503. So when you open it up, there is a pump, you guys, which we love a pump. That is the best way not to sort of lose your product. And I'm going to start off with 2 pumps. We'll start off with 2 pumps. Now the website does recommend that you use your fingers to blend the foundation on your face, but they also have expert makeup artist opinions on the website, and they recommend that you use a beauty blender sponge, which Makeup Forever does have their own sponge, but I'm just gonna use like a regular beauty blender sponge. So I'm just gonna, of course, add it to those places where I need the most coverage first. Just a tiny bit on the forehead, because I don't need much coverage on the forehead. Around the mouth, and a little more here. Still have quite a bit left on my hand, so we'll see where this gets us. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more to the spots that need the coverage the most. Making sure I blend past the jawline, just so we don't have that mark of demarcation, that line of demarcation rather. Pro tip. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This is the color NC45, which is my skin tone. I'm gonna take about a half a pump of the concealer and just sort of use that to cover any dark pigmentation that wasn't completely covered by the foundation. The consistency of that foundation was sort of a medium consistency. It wasn't super thick, but it wasn't super watery either. So I would say it's like a medium consistency, and it blended very easily. So when I applied it and took the sponge to sort of blend the foundation into the skin, it was just very effortless. If you get what I'm saying, you know how some foundations take a little bit of work to blend it because you see the lines, and maybe sometimes you'll see a little bit more coverage where you first applied it than the other spots on your face. But this one wasn't like that. It just sort of melted in the skin very, very easily using the sponge. And actually, by using the sponge, I understand why they recommended using the sponge rather than a makeup brush. So it's always great to sort of know how the company recommends you to use their product, because it makes a difference. Okay, so I'm going in to highlight with this concealer. This is the Rare Beauty concealer using the color 400W. And I'm gonna blend this using the same Beauty Blender sponge that I blended the foundation with. For contour today, I'm going in with the Huda Beauty. This is the Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream. It's sort of a cream to powder product that I use for contouring, and this is in the color medium. I'm gonna go ahead and use a Real Techniques brush. This is a Real Techniques contour brush. To brighten a little bit more in those highlighted areas, I'm going to go in with a e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and this is in the color Light Sand. And I'm going to let this sit for about 1 minute before I go ahead and blend it in. To give more of a flawless blend between the highlighter and the contour, I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more of the foundation right in between. So instead of it going from light to dark, it will sort of go from light to medium to dark. So let's put a little bit of the foundation, since it's my skin tone here. And then obviously the contour is supposed to be a couple shades darker than your skin tone. So instead of it just going from a bright highlighter to a dark contour, you sort of have that light highlighter and then your skin tone of foundation, and then kind of blend going into that darker contour color, just to give us a little bit more of that natural flawless blend. To set the highlighted areas, I'm going in with the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Powder using the same Beauty Blender sponge. So I'm gonna take a big fluffy powder brush. This is the MAC. You guys check the description box for the particular brush, the exact brush this is. This is from MAC, but I got it like 10 years ago. Their brushes last forever, by the way. Well, their brushes back in the day last forever. I know they have gone from using natural hair now to synthetic hair in their brushes as of, I wanna say 2 to 3 years ago. But the brushes that were made before a few years ago were natural hair. And I think they were manufactured in France, I want to say, and they literally last, 8, 10 plus years. So I'll put the number to this brush down in the description box. For bronzer, I'm going to use my absolutely favorite bronzer, which is the Pro Bronzer from Absolute New York in the color Dark. I love this bronzer because, especially in the sunlight, it gives off the sort of natural reflex, almost golden in a sense, and it just makes the skin look very flawless. I'm gonna take the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder. This one is in the color 310, and I'm gonna use this just to set a little bit more underneath the eye. It just gives it more of an airbrush look under the eye area, so that's what I love it for. And I'm gonna use this setting brush from Real Techniques. For eyebrows today, I'm going in with the Sephora Brow Pencil, and this is in the color Chocolate. For lashes today, of course, I'm using my brand Socialite Mink Lash in the style 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is the shortest, most conservative style that I carry, which still gives you that sort of fluffy wispiness that you would get from lash extensions, but in the form of a strip. For blush today, I'm using a blush called Rose de Oro, and this is from Milani, one of their baked blushes, and it's sort of a rosy colored blush with an undertone of gold reflex. For lips today, I'm going in with the Sephora lip liner in the color Molasses, which is a very dark brown. I love this liner because it's so creamy and applies easily. And for lipstick today, I'm going to use the Fenty lipstick, and this is in the color Uncensored, which is the red one. So the finish, you guys, it's supposed to have a natural skin finish, which my opinion is that it does have a skin-like finish. It's supposed to be a medium to full coverage. And as far as lasting power, it's supposed to have up to a 24-hour long wear lasting power. So let's talk about the packaging of this foundation. I think that this packaging is so chic, super chic, by the way. Just the way they put that natural color on the top of it is just gave it very much a modern look, a sleek edge, which is a little bit different from the original version because this is an upgraded version from the original Makeup Forever HD foundation, and I love this. You literally just pull the top off and it has just a regular pump, which I love. I used 2 pumps for my foundation today and it pretty much did the job. The price point of this foundation retails for $43 at Sephora, and you can also get it on the Makeup Forever website. Okay, socialites, so this is the look here. The color 4Y60 looks like a really good color for me. I feel like it's almost pretty much a perfect match. And so we'll just wait to see later on if it oxidizes and if the color changes. Of course, with all my foundation reviews and tutorials, I come back at the end of the night, show you guys how the face looks, and give you guys my final thoughts. So far the color looks great. The foundation claim is to have a natural finish, which usually means like a natural skin finish, which it was definitely that. Before I added the powders and just had the foundation only, the first thought that came to my mind was, wow, this looks like skin. Like, it didn't look like a buildup of foundation, it just looked like my skin, which I love that, by the way. So yeah, I'll be back in probably 8 hours plus. Right now it is 3:20 p.m. and so I'll be back at the end of the night to show you guys my final thoughts. The shade range of this new foundation. The new Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation has 40 shades to choose from, which I feel is a very extensive shade range, and they have plenty of colors to go for African American or dark skin tones such as mine, and even darker. I was very impressed by the shade range and even the undertones. They have natural undertones, cooler and warmer undertones, so they are surely to have something for you. Okay, socialites, so it has been about 6 hours. It's 9:30 something p.m. and I've had the makeup on since 3:30. So about 6 hours of wear. Honestly, I can tell with the way my makeup looks now, I would not be surprised if you could get that 24 hours of long wear that the company claims that you can get. So oil production, I do have a little bit of oil in the T-zones. After 6 hours, the oil that you can see here is to be expected. I do not expect to wear makeup for 6, 8, 10 hours and not see any oil. But what I would do is, for prep, I would definitely wear a primer, because what that primer is going to do is help control a little bit of the oil production. And I may even suggest putting on like an oil controlling or a mattifying primer. That's what's going to prevent this and keep your shine from showing through a little bit longer. So instead of this looking like this in 6 hours, it'll probably take about 10 hours plus to see this amount of oil. So that's how I would wear it. But I do like to see how the foundation performs on its own before I start wearing primers in conjunction with the foundation. I don't see the makeup breaking up anywhere, meaning like in the smile lines, and even if you get really, really close up, there's no breaking up of the makeup after 6 hours, which is a really good thing. I love that about this foundation. As far as oxidation, it didn't really oxidize much, maybe a tiny bit, but for the most part, the color fits my color. This is a really close match in my opinion. Some foundations you'll notice over time, after a few hours, it'll start to oxidize and look a little orangey, reddish, or darker, and this foundation didn't do that, so that's a plus as well. I did wear the first formula that they made, and that one didn't oxidize either. The Makeup Forever foundation is just a really good product. So on my last foundation review, I did have someone ask, if you were to touch up the makeup, how will you do so? So that is something that I want to start incorporating into my foundation reviews. So I'm going to show you guys how I would touch up this foundation. Basically, you can see where the shine is. You want to take a clean napkin. This is a soft Kleenex, and that's what I recommend using. Take a clean, soft Kleenex, and you just want to tap any place where you see oil. Any place where you see oil, you want to go ahead and tap. Just like that. Then what I would do is take your setting powder. You want to use something lightweight because you have to keep in mind you already have product on your face, and you never want to put anything heavy or pack anything on, because that's when you start having that cakey look. And even though it's a touch up, we still want to get that natural flawless finish. So once you blot those areas, I'm going to take the Laura Mercier loose translucent powder and just a little bit on the brush. If you could see that, it's not much at all. So this is what I'm going to take. And you want to lightly dust it across those areas where you saw the shine. And at this point, your makeup should be good as new. That's it. It doesn't take a lot to touch up your makeup. I'm that type of person. I don't even carry compacts or powder or anything in my purse because I never touch up. I never ever touch up my makeup. If it's a time like now or something like this where it's 6 hours later and you start to see shine, if I had to go somewhere where I know I don't have time to completely take my makeup off and redo it, which I'm the person that does that, even though I don't recommend you do it, but I'm just anal like that with my makeup. So if the makeup I had on early in the day, usually I'm not going to wear it at night. I'll take it off and redo my makeup altogether, but it's not necessary, as you can see here. You literally blot with the napkin or a soft Kleenex, and you lightly dust your setting powder, and you should be good to go. So that's it for this foundation review. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget to put it down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can become a socialite just like the rest of us. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing.